It looks so good. I want to wear makeup like this every single day. Like the confidence boost, no wonder everyone in Euphoria acts like a bad bitch. Hey friends, happy almost Valentine's Day. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing some Euphoria-inspired Valentine's Day makeup. I'm talking jewels, I'm talking pink, I'm talking hearts. It's gonna be cute. We're also gonna be talking about love today. I feel like I've had a good variety of experiences to draw from here. So if you're interested in hearing me talk about essentially the entire history of my dating life and also doing some cute ass Euphoria makeup, go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, so I've already primed my face. I used the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. There she is. And now I'm just going to be going in with my Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This is the warm beige color if you're curious. So, I promised you talk about love. You know, we're approaching Valentine's Day. And it's been on my mind a lot lately because I feel like I'm in a very pivotal point in my love life, my love journey. So let's start from the beginning, you know? So I'm definitely a romantic, self-proclaimed proud romantic. Like I love a relationship. Blame it on like my Venus in Pisces, blame it on watching way too many Disney movies growing up, but I love love. Like at the core of my being, that's who I am. Like for instance, Valentine's Day, like I know it can be such a like different experience for single people, obviously. Like a lot of like bitterness and just maybe like frustration or even sadness can surround the day when you're single. But even the years I've been single, like I love Valentine's Day. It is just like such a pure holiday. It is a holiday just about people proclaiming their love for other people. I don't know how you can like not like that. Like it's so pure and wholesome. All right, next is concealer. I'm going in with the Instant Age Rewind Eraser. So now that we've established I'm a cheesy ass bitch, and you've seen how much I enjoy other people's love and relationships, you can only imagine how I am in my own relationships and how I am when I'm in love. I started dating when I was 15. Like I had my first serious boyfriend when I was 15. And since then, or for a while after that, I was in committed relationship after committed relationship. And not just like months, like I was in like I don't know, how long would it have been? I guess like maybe like a 4 or 5 month relationship, which is a pretty long time, I feel like at 15, like in high school. But then after that, I was in a 2-year-long relationship and then essentially a 3-year-long relationship. So I am a serial monogamous. Like I do not like, I never had the experience for a while of like dating around and talking to and meeting and dating a lot of people. I was always very much like the girl that was in a relationship, and my friends like knew I was like the cuffed friend, you know? All right, next I'm going in with the Glossier Boy Brow. So yeah, like I was very much a serial monogamous, and it was never really a problem for me. Like I never really related to any kind of notion of commitment issues, or like I remember one time my friend was talking to me, and she's never been in a relationship. She hadn't at this point, and she was telling me like it just seems so exhausting to like have to tell someone what I'm doing and take their feelings into account and spend all this time with them and talk to them and like put all this work into a relationship. Like it just seems so exhausting. And I remember at the time being like, I cannot relate whatsoever to what you're saying, because I've always felt like that part of a relationship came so naturally to me. I will say like I'm a clingy ass bitch. Like I mean, I don't know at this point, we'll get into that, but I very much at this time of this conversation was very clingy and like the kind of person who wanted to spend 24/7 with their significant other, like 24/7, 25/8. Like I could like spend all my time with them and be perfectly happy, which, you know, combined with the fact that I was a serial monogamous, I think did point to some problems I wasn't addressing. Okay, brows are filled in. I'm just gonna go in with the same concealer and just carve them out. And the thing is, at the time, I never thought like any of this was a problem. Like, I feel like people fall on a spectrum of like clinginess versus wanting a lot of space in a relationship, and that's just how people are. And I just felt like I fell on the clingier side. And when it came to being in long-term relationship after long-term relationship, like, it's not like I broke up with a person and then immediately turned around and was like, okay, I need to be in a new relationship now. Oftentimes I just like found myself involved with someone else I genuinely really liked. And I think clearly I didn't rush into things with people that weren't right for me, because like I said, they are all long-term relationships. So that's also why I didn't think it was really a problem, because it's not like I was like finding anyone I could possibly date and like date them for a month and then break up with them and then find the next person as soon as possible. Like, I felt like I was with people who were right for me at the time, and I still stand by that. It feels so weird to like go between like me talking about like my deep like feelings about love and then be like, okay, now we're gonna go in with like, but now I'm gonna be blending out that concealer that I just put around my eyebrows just with a beauty blender. But anyways, yeah, like I didn't think any of this was a problem. And honestly, depending on the person, it may never have had to have been a problem. But for me, it was, because I didn't realize kind of the long-term effects of this kind of behavior, I guess. And I didn't take into account that this could lead to issues later down the line if I didn't acknowledge them right then and there. And I didn't, so it did lead to problems later along the line. Alright, fun part for the makeup. We're going to be going in with the Modern Renaissance palette. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm going to be using the Buon Fresco shade. I'll swatch it for you. But it's just this like, honestly it matches my shirt like perfectly. It's like this very muted mauve-y pink color. So I'm just going to be taking that and be putting it all over my lid. Alright, next I'm going to go in with Love Letter. It is this really deep kind of pink color, and that is what is going to be the majority of the pink in this look. And I'm just going to be putting that like around my crease, focusing it on the outer corners. But yeah, definitely different factors. I don't want to make it seem like being in a lot of relationships was the main issue, because I think there's a way to do that in a healthy way, which requires you to also have a strong relationship with yourself. And I just didn't have that. And I never felt the need to develop that. And that's why, for me, being a serial monogamist was such an issue and brought me so many problems later down the line. So now let's get into it. Let's get into the problems. Alright, before we get into it, I'm gonna go in with Vermeer. It's this like pearly kind of pinky shade, just to add some glitter, and I'm gonna add that to the inner like half of my eyelid. So I feel like this issues definitely came up the most in my college relationship. So I'm trying to be careful just because I'm gonna be talking for the next few minutes about all the toxic behaviors I had in this relationship. I think there's toxicity on both ends, but I just don't feel the need to put my ex on blast like that. Like, I'm sharing my own personal experiences on my channel, but these are also his personal experiences. I don't want to make it sound like it was just me. Let's just clear my name right there. But I will be talking about all the toxic things that I did. So I feel like my toxic behaviors in this relationship were definitely stemming from just a lack of security I felt in the relationship in general. And I do feel like the foundation we laid for the relationship really contributed to this. I think in this relationship, I definitely learned the importance of a solid foundation, because I feel like these days, it's really easy for the road to a relationship to be a lot more messy than just like, oh, I thought they were cute, and then we went on some dates and I liked them, we started dating. And I think we don't take into account how important that foundation is, because you even see it in movies. Like, we're so quick to forgive any bad behavior that happened before the relationship. Once like they profess their love, they're like, no, but I want to be with you, and then you just live happily ever after, when like, no. I think we forget, or we don't acknowledge that the foundation has a lot to do with how solid the relationship is down the line. I feel like for this relationship, the foundation was really bad, because we were talking and like hanging out for like 5 or 6 months before we actually started dating. And throughout that time, I felt like he didn't really know what he wanted, so my emotions were yanked back and forth a lot. And so that kind of just made me feel like I was pursuing someone who wasn't interested in me the same way I was interested in them. I had felt for so long like, does this kid even like me? Like, am I being stupid? And I'm sure a lot of people, especially girls, anyone interested in men has found themselves in this situation where you're like waiting around to see if this guy ends up liking you, ends up making a move, ends up cuffing you, and you're probably waiting a little too long and you probably feel kind of stupid. And that's how I felt in this situation. So by the time we started dating, as you can imagine, that wasn't a good foundation. Okay, next I'm gonna take Love Letter, the color we used for the crease and outer corners. I'm just put it right underneath my eye, like on the waterline. So yeah, it was a really bad foundation, and so I was basically coming into this relationship with already a lack of relationship with myself, and then insecurity issues when it came to him, and then things just only started to snowball from there. And honestly, I was turning into one of those people in a relationship that like make me cringe now. Like, I was really jealous of all his friends that were girls, and I would take it personally when he didn't want to spend time with me. Like, if he wanted to spend time alone or with friends, I took that personally as like an indication that he didn't actually care about me or something. I was like, I need to keep this kid happy because he probably doesn't want to be in this relationship with me because I suck, and I need to do what I can to make sure he stays. Which, like, bitch, like, how unhealthy is that? And obviously these were all feelings I kept to myself, I think because I knew they were unhealthy, and I knew my friends were gonna be like, Brie, like, get it together. And I just, like, it wasn't something I wanted to hear at the time. Which brings me to the breakup, which is probably like one of the biggest turning points in my life. Not to be dramatic, but it really was that dramatic. So my lashes are from Cakeface Cosmetics in the style Natural. We broke up when my mental health was the worst it's ever been, honestly. Probably has not been that low in my entire life. And on top of it, I was really isolated from my friends just because of the nature of our relationship. So it was a bad time overall. I'm using the L'Oreal Waterproof Voluminous in Carbon Black to just make my natural lashes blend in better and also do my bottom lashes. What was good is I had started seeing a therapist. So I had started, you know, doing what I should have been doing all along and building that relationship with myself to be strong enough that I was able to stand on my own without anyone else, like friendship, relationship, whatever. So at this point, I had really started trying to figure out who I was on my own, even though I was still like somewhat connected to my ex still. Alright, I'm just gonna go in with some L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder. This is C3, if you're curious. And I'm just going to put that all over my face. I think my problem was that I had this like sunk cost fallacy going on. I hope that's what it's called. I studied marketing, if you didn't know, and I think this is what it's called. But basically, it's where in business, when you put a lot of money into a certain business venture, let's say, and it's failing and you're not getting anything out of it and it's not going as you'd hoped, but you put so much money into it, so you keep trying to make it work and it's not working, and you only are trying to make it work because you already put so much money into it. But that was exactly how I felt during this time where I was trying to get back together with him, was that I had put so much time and effort and tears and just so much into this kid for us not to end up together. Like, in my head just did not compute. I could not accept that, and I should have. You should accept when things are over. It's okay if they didn't end up being exactly what you thought they were going to be, because like, now that I've been distanced from the relationship and it has been so long since we've broken up, I'm able to appreciate it for what it was and what it taught me and the really good moments of it. And I realize now that I should have been able to do that at the time, and I couldn't, because like obviously it wasn't just like, oh, I put so much effort into this kid. Like, I still loved him and I wanted to be with him. But that was a really driving force, I think, in why it took me so much longer to let go than it should have. Alright, now we're bronzing and also doing nose contour. This is just the Benefit Hoola bronzer that everyone has, just the regular shade. I am literally at crumbs at this point. So yeah, I was really trying to make this relationship work for a long time, longer than I should have. And eventually we really whole ass broke up. And surprisingly, it wasn't nearly as painful as the first time. And I realized that I was actually a lot happier not pining after someone who didn't want to be with me, essentially. As sad as it is, and as much as it hurts my pride, he didn't want to be with me. And my life was so much better when I just stopped trying to be with him. Which brings me to my next point, which is finally being single. Okay, now we're gonna do the hearts with the blush. That's the best part. I'm very excited. So I'm just taking some painter's tape, like just blue painter's tape, and I'm going to cut a heart shape out of it, and that's gonna be our little stencil. So we had broken up at the very beginning of the summer before my senior year, and that summer ended up being like the best summer of my entire life. Just throughout like the first breakup, like before we actually broke up, I really started reconnecting with my friends, and that only continued into the summer. And it was just so nice to like not focus on him or like relationships in general. Like I was just chilling. I wasn't dating anyone. Like I wasn't even just like trying to hook up with a bunch of people. Like I was just chilling, and it was so nice. But like at the core of who I am, which I said in the beginning of this video, I am a relationship person. I still truly believe that, even though it's been a really long time since I've been in a relationship at this point. I love love. I love having a person, not in an unhealthy way anymore. But by the time I got to my senior year, I was very much like, okay, I'm ready to start dating again. Okay, here we go. Little stencil, lower this time. Cute. So now I'm taking my blush. I'm using the Becca Chrissy Teigen palette, and I'm going to use just the like really pinky blush right here for my cheeks. So yeah, I was single, like single for real single for the first time since I was dead ass 15. And it was just fun, you know, like it was fun finally experiencing this like dating lifestyle that I never experienced because I was always cuffed. Like to just talk to different people, go on dates, just get to know different kinds of people was just such a good time, and I genuinely really enjoyed it. The thing is, I would be lying if I said that though I was enjoying just casually dating people and just seeing where things could go and going on dates and just talking, I was also like trying to find my next person, you know, like I was ready to be in a relationship again. I had time to be single and just enjoy myself, and I really thought I was done with that part of my growth and my life, and that was it. So like at that point I was like, who's next? Go, go, go. Who's next? But because I was placing those expectations on people, like regardless of whether or not they knew it, I was looking for something serious. And obviously not everything turns out into something serious. Sometimes you talk with someone and you're not that compatible, or whatever reason, things just don't go any further. But I think setting that expectation that, okay, I want this to go in that direction is never good. And that's really a lesson that I learned, because I was disappointed over and over and over again when I wasn't finding someone I felt like I had a spark with, or I thought I liked this person, I got to know them, I didn't like them that much anymore. Like honestly, I was the problem. I will say there's a difference between standards and maybe not giving people a chance. I don't think I was really giving people a chance. I was waiting for like instant sparks and romance that I had felt with my ex, and like honestly all of my relationships in the past I feel like developed pretty quickly because I felt an initial attraction, an initial spark. But I didn't take into consideration that I was 18, like 16, 15 at these times where I was feeling this like spark, which you're gonna feel more likely when you're younger. Like as you get older, you're just not going to fall into love or romance as quickly. That's just like, you know, how it works. And I thought that had to be something wrong with the people I was talking to, the people that I was dating, when in reality I was setting really unrealistic expectations on them. And so this time where I was dating all these different people just completely turned upside down my expectations of what it's like to fall in love and meet the right person and get into a relationship, because none of it had followed any pattern that I had before. I think I'm gonna, oh no! Oh no, it's fine, it's fine. Cute! Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna go in and blend the edges out later. I'm too scared to do it with the big brush. Okay, next side. And then COVID hit. We found ourselves in the middle of a global fucking pandemic. I haven't been an asshole, and I've actually been trying to be safe this entire time. So I have barely seen people I know, let alone been in situations where I'm going to meet someone new. But I think in a way, like, I needed this. Like, I was single, I really was. I finally was actually single, but if I'm being honest, like, I felt a lot of comfort and just it boosted my self-esteem, I guess, to like have people interested in me and to go on dates and talk to people. I found a lot of comfort in that, and I think I was still tying some of my self-worth to attention I was getting from others, which is still not good. And at this point, like, we're a year into this, like, I can honestly say I have never had this strong of a relationship with myself. Like, I have never been this comfortable being alone. And like, don't get me wrong, it was hard in the beginning of quarantine to be by myself and seeing people quarantining with their significant others. But like, I got used to it, you know? I got used to being by myself. I got used to being enough for myself, getting my self-worth from myself for once in my life. Like, I did really need to be thrown into a situation where it was like, breathe, like, love yourself. And at this point in my life, I'm like, enough for myself for once, for like the first time ever, which is really nice to say, actually. This video has been like a lot of me talking about like things I'm not proud of and like behaviors I'm ashamed I had, and just like things I did that are so cringy. But like, to be able to say that at the end of it all, that like I truly have never felt so secure within myself and had such a good relationship with myself, it feels so good to say that. And now I'm like really excited to one day meet someone and be in a relationship with them, because they're going to be getting my best self and I'm going to be whole before I meet them. Boom, bitch. It looks so good. I'm so happy with it. All right, jewels are next, essential for a Euphoria look. So I'm just taking little pink jewels and I'm gonna place them underneath my eyes. I'm actually very happy I did this video on this topic, because it was actually very therapeutic to talk about all this. Like, I stopped going to my therapist earlier this year and I miss her so much. To finish things off, I'm just gonna add some highlight on my nose and my top lip. Maybe some on the chin. Lipstick. I'm using Nectar by Pixi. I've used this a million times on my channel. And then over that, I'm just gonna do the red regular Glossier gloss. And that's the final look. Oh, she's so cute. I need to go somewhere with better lighting because it's gotten dark in my room. All right, I'm in my living room and it looks so good. I am obsessed, but it's so good. I wish I could wear makeup like this every single day. Like, the self-esteem boost, no wonder everyone in Euphoria acts like a bad bitch. But that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the look. I hope you enjoyed the chat. I got really vulnerable, so I hope you appreciate it. That was a lot to put on the internet. I don't know. We'll see what that makes it into editing, but we got deep. Make sure to leave a like and a comment to let me know you liked the video. If you're new here, definitely go ahead and subscribe. You can head to my channel to watch some more videos. And don't forget to hit the post notification bell if you have it. It'll give you a notification every time I post something new, so you never miss any content from me. So I hope you're all having a great day. Have a good Valentine's Day, no matter what your situation may be. And I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.